Hi, good day everyone. Now I will be showing you how to use the basic tools in Photoshop. But before that, open your software or app Photoshop in your laptop or desktop. Okay, let's start. The first tool that I will be showing you is the Move tool. But before that, click Ctrl N to adjust the pixels and add a canvas. After clicking Ctrl N, click Ctrl O to select a picture you want to move. After choosing a picture, click Open. Move tool is a very important tool because it allows you to move areas you have selected, but also to move the entire layers without first making a selection. If you hold the Option or Alt key while dragging, with the Move tool you can copy the selection. As you can see on the screen, with the use of the Move tool, I can move the pictures all over the canvas. That is how important the Move tool is. Again, the Move tool. The next tool is a magnifier. Click with this tool on a part of your image you want to see closer, or drag with it to define the area you want to expand to the size of the window. Hold down the Option or Alt key to make it a reducer, instead a zoom back out. The next useful tool in Photoshop that I will introduce is the eyedropper. Click with this tool on any color in the canvas to make the color the foreground color. You can then paint or type with it. The next useful tool that I will introduce to you is the crop tool. The crop tool cuts out a defined area, deleting or hiding the rest of an image. Again, just click the crop tool icon at the side of your Photoshop, then click Ctrl N to select a picture you want to crop. As you can see, I'm looking for an image to crop, and then I choose the creepy image. To crop your image, draw a box with the crop tool. Adjust the selection with the selection points and then hit Return Crop. Note that while bounding box is active, the rest of the Photoshop tools and commands are not available. You have either to apply Enter or to discard, click Escape Crop to resume your work. Again, this is the crop tool, one of the most often used tools. The next tool is the text tool. Click on this tool to select it, then click in the canvas area. You will be given a dialog box in which to type your text and choose its attributes. As you can see, I typed the word Shashi. Each new block of text goes on its own layer, so you can move it around with the Move tool. Once you have placed the text, however, it's no longer editable. To correct mistakes, you must delete the old version and replace it. The next tool is the Photoshop Eraser tool. Photoshop Eraser tool can be found in the second group of icon in the toolbox. It has three variations: Eraser, Background Eraser, and Magic Eraser. The eraser is basically a brush which erases pixels as you drag it across the image. Pixels are erased to transparency or the background color if the layer is locked. When you select the eraser tool, you have various options available in the toolbar. As you can see, I can erase the picture because of the eraser tool. Eraser tool has a lot of brushes, size of brushes, so you can adjust it. Okay, let's move on to the next useful tool, which is the Photoshop Marquee tool. Just click the Marquee tool icon on the side of the Photoshop so you can start. The Marquee tool is the most basic of selection tools and often the one most useful. This tool is used to draw selections based on geometric shapes. Specifically, the Marquee tool allows you to draw rectangle and elliptical selections. To form the selection, simply click and drag the mouse. You can easily choose the geometrical form by changing the value for shape in the options palette. Note that a square is a special case of rectangle, and a circle is a special case of ellipse. To get a square from a rectangular marquee or a circle from an elliptical marquee, simply press and hold the Shift key while you drag out your selection. As you are dragging out your selections, you should notice that selections are drawn outwards from the point at which you initially click on the canvas. Sometimes this can be disconcerting, especially if you are typing to select a circular area around the sum base point. Fortunately, Photoshop has an answer. To draw the selection, put out from the center, press and hold the Alt key while dragging out the selection. Again, this is the Marquee tool. The next is the Line tool. Line tool can be used to draw straight lines. Click on the tool to select it, then click with the tool on the canvas area and drag to draw a line. When you release the mouse button, the line will end. You can change the thickness of the line or add arrowheads to it by double-clicking on the tool to see the dialog box. As you can see, I use the Line tool to draw a house. Photoshop Lasso Tools allows you to select precise areas of an image by drawing or tracing the selection outline. There are 3 lasso tools available: Lasso Tool, Polygonal, and the Magnetic Lasso Tool. Lasso Tool is a freehand selection tool. Click and hold your left mouse button on the image and draw your selection. Polygonal Lasso Tool is similar to Lasso Tool except that instead of holding your mouse button down to draw, left-click on various points to create a selection with a series of straight edges. Last is the Magnetic Lasso Tool. It is a very handy tool for selecting areas which have reasonably well-defined edges. Left-click at the starting point of your selection and simply move the mouse along the edge. Let's move on to the next tools, which is the airbrush, paintbrush, and the pencil tools. You can use these tools to draw in the foreground color on whichever layer is selected. To change the foreground color, just double-click on it in the toolbox. You will then see a palette of colors from which to choose. Select one and click OK. You can also change the brush size. To change the size, go to the window and click Show Brushes. As you can see, I've used different size of brushes. You can use this tool to kill your boredom, and especially if you really love painting. Instead of using the real paintbrush, you can use the technology to enjoy. The last but not the least tool that I will introduce to you is the Magic Wand. Magic Wand is another way to select pixels. When you click on an area of the image with this tool, all the pixels you click will be selected. Just double click on the tool to set the level of tolerance you would like. Just for example, how similar in color the pixels must be to your original pixel color. A higher tolerance mean is a broader color range. As you can see, I've changed the color of the real leaf from another shade of green, which is way different from the color of leaf in the reality. And that's the use of the Magic Wand tool. I want you to know it's enough for me. So that you are is all that I'll ever need. I'm so in love, so in love.